And welcome to the Svengoolie fan channel. Welcome to the study of Svengoolie that in these parts we refer to as Svenology. Tonight, behind, let me give a one shot behind that image of a St. Patrick's Sven. Welcome back, Makayla Stormgoolie. Thanks for coming around again to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me back. It has been months.
It has been months since our last conversation, since our last time of doing business. Again, as the other points of business we've been covering over here, we like to acknowledge the birthday of Rich Coes, which, as we sit here now on the 16th, was just 4 days ago on March 12th. So then, Makayla, in that sense, in that way, all the shows leading up to that were part of the Sven birthday tribute. So we could either say this is still part of the extended tribute, or we could say this is the start, the beginning of the after party of the birthday acknowledgments for Rich Coes for Svengoolie. Okay, so Makayla, as some of us may know, has been busy putting together a lot of her art, and the bulk of the time we're going to look at her art. I see we do have a comment, so let me jump to that comment. And it is none other than Nanette. Nanette,
Hey,
woohoo! It is great.
hello.
It is great to see Makayla back on, and we look forward to the next time that Nanette can come around again. Let me say this as before we jump into looking at Makayla's material here. Just today, and our guest from 2 weeks ago, Chris Hamby of the Silver Screen blog. Chris's blog is a long-standing recording of both horror things and Svengoolie comings and goings. So, being a longtime blogger, Chris was at 96,000 and change, and then early even today, 96,900 and change. And as of the last time I checked, Chris Hamby crossed the 97,000 viewers threshold.
Congratulations,
It was at
Chris.
97.
We love you.
So, Makayla, so I'm of course more recent. It's only within, I don't know the exact time, but it hasn't been years and years that I've known of Chris Hamby or of the blog. But we're coming on a good solid number of months here. But how long have you known about Chris Hamby's blog?
Well, actually, when I first started watching Tune In With Me and Svengoolie, I was interested in the blog about in 2022 when I first started watching those shows. So I just wanted to thank Chris personally for mentioning me for every single cameo that I was featured in, from the artworks to my Spawn audition and all the other art and my other cameos that I'll be on in the near future. So, Chris, if you are watching this right now, we just want to say thank you.
Exactly. Thanks to Hamby. And now that we've acknowledged and given the recognition that Chris Hamby so much deserves, now let's get in and dive into the material here. And again, if I was going to go back to the one shot, there is right over your shoulder there, this very thing. So you have a couple of coffee mugs, a couple of rubber chickens, a bobblehead, and what says right there, to Makayla, best wishes from Svengoolie Rich Coes. So it warms my heart to see that as part of your collection.
Well, I just wanted to thank Sven personally for his autograph. I just don't know what he actually said to me while you're at the appearance. I was emotional. I actually shared the reaction to my social media accounts, and I just went viral in last few weeks and overnight when I posted it. So I'm just really thankful for everyone who has liked it, and hopefully I might get more of the autographs from the Sven squad and just more of the autographs in Sven in general.
Excellent. And maybe I should have taken better notes in that moment that I was there with Rich, with Sven. So I don't have the exact quote, but he definitely knows of you, and he was definitely happy that the signature that he was going to be able to connect with you in that way. So now, speaking of other longtime standing connections with Sven, as we mentioned recently here, Tom Skilling, the WGN TV weatherman, has just recently retired. So I mean, this looks like I would say even your art style looks different from Sven and from Tom Skilling. Did you like study a photo of Tom Skilling? How did you choose to put this picture of Tom Skilling together?
Well, actually, when I just first learned about his retirement, I just didn't know who he was like recently, like years ago when I first learned about him. So I just looked for like social medias, like from WGN and stuff. And I was actually learned more about him on YouTube and stuff as well. So I looked for all of these photos and I actually worked on Adobe Fresco and then just traced the outline of the artwork. And I really like how it all really turned out. And we're just so thankful for Tom Skilling. There won't be another Tom Skilling, but the legacy really lives on.
The legacy will live on. And again, as somebody who's been watching Tom Skilling on the news, on and off, in and out, you captured him. You captured him well. And now next up, we have kind of sometimes you have things in color, sometimes you have things in black and white and grayscale. And by the date on this is less than 2 weeks old here. And there, oh my gosh, let me get wow. So that's on a canvas.
Yes, it was the first time using this on a canvas for like any of my Sven artwork in general. And it was literally also the very first time using charcoal pencils. So my parents and my family know about my artistic talent. And the charcoal pencils were actually given by my Aunt Brenda in Ohio. So I actually learned how to use those. And I really like how it actually turned out.
Well,
Again,
Makayla, it's great to see you working on different media, if you will, different utensils, different formats, so that we're watching a young artist continue to advance in their artistry, and what good fortune for me to be able to help other people view your progress and your process. So Nanette is giving you a well-deserved nice, and if we can jump back, Chris, if you're still here, we're
hey,
saying
Kerwin,
congratulations on and now just over 97,000 viewers to your blog, to Silver Screen. So it's a good show, and it's good to be in good company. So coming back to our volume of photos here, a newer character that doesn't have quite the history that Kerwin does, that hasn't been around as long as Tombstone has, but we have here the imp. And you have put the imp in, fair to say, some not St. Patrick's season, but in some 4th of July season. How did you pick this set of clothing for the imp for this picture?
well, I actually thought about this idea, so I just looked for flags. Like we all know flags have stripes and stars in the United States flag. So it was actually a same style as my Uncle Sven drawing that was featured in the car movie last summer. So I used that. So the hat is the same, and the outfit for Imp is a little different from Uncle Sven's. And flag and what you call like these lighter thingies, they still do the same. So hoping this will be featured in the 4th of July this year.
It would be great if it is. It would be great if it is. And then moving on again, you had a black and white, you had a color, you're switching around what you're doing here. Sven foot. Obviously, this is a mashup of Svengoolie and Bigfoot. How did that idea come in your head to bring these two great legends together?
Well, I was looking for all the different Facebook groups, like photos and stuff, so I can inspired by. So I suddenly seen like these Bigfoot groups on Facebook, and there's like a picture that inspired me to do this mashup. So I just did like a black and white thing, and with Svenfoot and that. And again, Svenfoot's like in the black color, the gray is like in the moon, and the believe in Svenfoot's all in white.
I say you definitely got the elements, like the hat makes it clear that it's Sven. It's definitely a Bigfoot outline. And then you have those trademark symbols, or that trademark imagery, not literally trademark, but I should say that clearly identifying of Universal movies there. You've got a moon and some spooky trees set together. So a beautiful, well crafted on your part. And now here's to some lighter fare. We got your iteration of Powerpuff Sven with a rubber chicken right there. This looks like it's a markers that you used. Am I right on that?
Well, actually, this was done in Adobe Fresco. So it was actually the same character as I'm wearing the costume that I'm wearing. And again, it was the same like picture that I had when I used one of these power factor things that I had when I was in middle school or something. So I used that picture and just traced it, and I put in my own elements to my character, and there we go.
Now, I feel like maybe I should have connected the dots here, but let me ask. So at first I thought this was a rendition of Sven, but is this in fact this is Stormgoolie, the character, your character in a Powerpuff format?
It is.
Excellent. Good, good. And speaking of the other characters in the different formats, here's my old pal Zalman Tombstone living it up for Cinco de Mayo. Uh, El Tombstone, well done there. Uh, how how did you pick the colors to represent this one?
Well, again, I actually used Google and all of that in search for inspiration. So I just traced that out and just actually added my own elements to the L Tombstone. And therefore, it has the dark colors and some of the light colors as well. So therefore, we have an L Tombstone.
Excellent. And we just had a comment from Jim Campbell. As always, great to have Jim Campbell around checking out and giving us a funny business or tough questions in the comment section. Now, as I alluded to earlier, we're talking about different formats, different media. Now, is this new for you to bridge out into having your material on a t-shirt? And how did you get it from the page or the screen into t-shirt format?
Well, actually, I do have the shirt. I'm going to bring it out real quick.
Okay. In the meanwhile, let me switch over here just to say we're here with Makayla Stormgoolie in her second appearance as a guest over here. And Makayla is a venerable artist within the Sven verse. Here she is now with the shirt back again. So let me switch in here and then give her. Okay. Wow. All right, it's coming a little pixelated there, but that's all right. We're getting the idea. So did you put them in? Oh, there it is. There it is. Kerwin on the back. So did you go to a service to have this done, or you didn't actually put ink and material onto the shirt, or what exactly? How exactly did you pull this off?
Well, actually, I actually did the shirt myself. So I actually got these fabric markers from a store called Joann's. Our local Joann's is closed right now and it's gone. We do have a Michael's though in Worcester. So we got those fabric markers on clearance. And then I started to work on the shirt. Took like about a few hours to make the shirt. And I really started to draw my own Sven and my own Kerwin. And the jokes that I have just made, actually made myself. And I just want to say that this shirt is paid for with no personal checks. And on the back, no wonder she asked for shirt off the back.
Well done. And let me say, I'm glad I asked now because I had the wrong idea. I assumed you had some kind of uh, iron-on system or laser printing service to transfer your image onto the shirt. But so is that new for you to apply your work to cotton to t-shirt material?
Yes, it is actually a brand new material I had for me. So I just love this shirt. Hopefully, I might do more shirts in the future or even start my own art business for shirts or making more of my Sven art to share with other fans. Who knows? I might share other artwork with Sven fans all over the country or even around the world in the future. Who knows?
The possibilities to be looked forward to, and to catch up on comments. And Nanette had given us an awe Kerwin, so Nanette was appreciating your depiction of Kerwin there. Now this one is looking like a more serious looking one here. Here's a Bride of Frankenstein. You got a cover date on it, January 16. How did you pick the bride to draw, and how did you decide to give her a side profile, if you will?
Well, sometimes when I do like other monster related artwork, it's all according to the movie that Sven is showing that week. So again, I just look for the picture of a Bride Frankenstein and I actually drew it in with different shadings and stuff. And if for those who don't have Pluto TV, or if you have Pluto TV, they have a Universal Monsters channel on Pluto TV, which I now love. So my suggestion is to watch some of the Universal Monsters on that channel. Trust me, I love it, and hope you will as well.
There's so many different ways to enjoy the movies. Obviously, clearly, as through a horror host, such as Rich Coe's Svengoolie or the other horror hosts that are around. So many of them are there. There's watching the movie pure off of a DVD. There's watching it through a streaming service. So it's great to be able to choose which way you want to enjoy and consume the pictures. Okay, that's where we were. Now, here we go, a little seasonal from Valentine's Day itself. So we got a youthful mashup of Cupid and Sven here. I really like both the heart and the angle on which you've placed it. It gives it that 3D kind of effect.
Well, actually, again, I just did it from Google. I just searched for the picture, traced it, and I just added my own elements and stuff. And I really, really like that picture a lot.
And then as the calendar follows, from Valentine's Day brings us to St. Patrick's season. And here you go with the St. Patrick get up on Sven.
Oh, yes. But I am hoping this will be featured on the show tonight. But I still remember last year's artwork of my St. Patrick's Day artwork from last year. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, and we'll know, if somebody's with us live, as a few people are, we'll know within a couple of 3 hours or so if this one made it onto the show tonight. And if somebody's watching after the fact, well, I guess you could please do ask in the comments or follow up in the comments as we go. Now, here we go. Now, Makayla, as you're here, and as I'm here with this white in my beard, and Kerwin is saying he's old. Now, right, in the real world, I have more years than Kerwin does, but as far as the character of Kerwin, clearly I'm not actually prehistoric, no matter how gray my beard may get. Happy Kerwinversary, Kerwin. So, birth of 15. How come we get? So, is it the Kerwin is 15? Or has he been around that?
15 years. He actually first appeared on the show in the male segments in 2009. So I just learned that from good old Twitter.
Between your Twitters and your Chris Hambies around here, it's great to have these facts easy to trace and check up on. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, now what do we got here? This is back to the black and white and gray format. Who are we looking at?
Well, actually, I think it's one of the stars that's going to be on tonight's movie, Comedy of Terrors, but I don't know who it is. So I think it's don't know who it is, but I learned it from searching from Google. Just started to doodle that and shadings and stuff. So don't know who that is, but I enjoyed it.
All right, so we'll encourage people to watch the show and then identify who that looks most like, and maybe come back in the comments afterwards, or reach out to Makayla in any of her social media platforms and such. All right, now, as we know, there's a lot of overlap between the Stooges and the Svenverse, and this is just toward the end of last year. Tell us, how did you pick who to get what outfit?
Well, actually, I just learned about the phrase Stooges, again, from Twitter. So I actually coordinated the outfits from their personality. So I don't know which is which. So I think the middle is I don't know the names, but I don't know which is which. But both Imp and Nasty are holding rubber chickens, and Sven is like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do with these chickens.
So let me ask, and again, I left my phone away, but my watch, I'm getting a text in from the inner circle here from Junkyard on my watch. Do you have a preference for the Stooges. And I'll say, so over to the left there holding the rubber chicken, that one looks to me most like Larry. And I really like how you have the eyebrows or absence of eyebrows there. There's just something really neat about that. And in the middle being looking more of a bald figure, but with a little bit of a Sven wig. I'm going to go for that's probably curly. And then come to the other side. That looks like a Mo haircut, holding the other rubber chicken there. That one looks like Mo to me. So do you have a favorite Stooge?
Well, I really like all of them,
Good
but
answer.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean
yeah,
to
I
slow down.
just all of them in general.
Great, great. Now here we go back to uh oh, the movie Black Cat to 1941. Excellent. So this looks more like just a classical, like a art school exercise here to have a black cat. So what got in your blood to put this one together?
Well, again, I just actually did a tutorial on cats. So I just did that art tutorial and just added my own elements to the artwork that I did. And therefore, the black cat in my artwork is born.
And here we have it. All the better for us to be able to check it out now. Oh, okay. This one may take, adjust your eyes as needed here. So we got the Berwyn Spooky Town USA sign as seen on the set. We've got a backdrop and then absolutely. So now let me pull it so you can show the actual here. And again, let me give you the full one shot there for the okay. So this is another piece on canvas.
Yes. Again, I did for Kerwin with the new version of Kerwin. So I really love the new Kerwin as much with the new like hair and everything. And I just really love it.
And it's what's not to love. But I really like how it's even like it's like a challenge piece to hear. It's all black and white and gray. It's not a Where's Waldo, but it's like a fine Kerwin within what we're looking at. That is really cool. Definitely good material. So now let's come out of your out of the creativity of your hands for a second and out of the black and white business for a second and tell us what are we looking at here. It looks like you're having a night on the town with your pals.
Yes, they are some of my best friends. Josette is in the middle, and Serenity is on the right. They're the best friends I could ever have. So I think we first met when we were very young. And we actually went to the Wild Winter Lights at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, and it had a lot of Christmas lights. And you get to walk through around the zoo. There are different displays, and it's like a tradition for us to go to the lights every year.
Well, that is really cool. And again, it looks like you're having the best time with your pals. Now this one, as it's well known, I'm a Zalman Tombstone fan, so I think this is a bit similar style to the. Oh, I got to clear out again because here you come with the larger than life canvases. This is great. Uh, how did you pick the colors for this capturing of Tombstone?
Well, again, this is the first time using oil pastels for that one. So, again, I just looked for the image in my comic book and I used it to size it out for the whole canvas and make it larger for the canvas, outline it with charcoal pencils, and I actually colored it in with oil pastels for the tombstone space and for the background.
Great. I think that captures Tombstone's personality and his over-the-top sense of humor, and I'm appreciative to have it here. Now we got Abbott and Costello might have met the Mummy. They might have met Boris Karloff, the killer, and they might have met Frankenstein. But here they get to meet Kerwin.
Oh, yes. So I looked for like different artworks on many Facebook groups, but I was inspired by, and I look for an image that I can challenge myself to do. So I look for that image and I try to draw the images as best of my ability and then add my own unique spin on it. And again, both Abbott, Costello, and Curran were in pencils, and the rest of it were outlined with markers and like color pencils.
Great to see him. Great to see him. Now, this one here, this looks like another night out in the wintertime.
Oh, yes, that is my brother Shane, who is 25, and that is my mom, Amy. Both my mom and my brother are in Georgia currently, so they left on February 10th, and I will be seeing them again at the end of May, so I'm really excited to see them again.
Excellent. And
But I
now
will with them frequently.
that's great. That's great. Here we have again a younger character, or I should say a newer character within the show is Nostalgia Ferratu, and here you've reinterpreted him as a younger character, little Nasty. So how the original Nosferatu obviously looks quite different and not quite human, and has been through the ringer and has had a lot of years on the earth. The comedic character of Nostalgia Ferratu, as portrayed by Bill Leff. How did you think to take Bill Leff's comedic character and de-age that character?
Well, actually, I really loved his like little nasty like peas skits on the show. So I actually thought, why to make my own little nasty myself? So again, I like take a screenshot of it and traced it and colored in every way. And we have little nasty, as you can see. Actually am friends with Bill Leff on Facebook, so he really knows me very well.
That is super cool. And again, having me being significant older from you, having been able to listen to Bill Leff and the Bill and Wendy show and stuff, going back to the 90s, it's great to have Bill Leff. Whatever project he's in is a project I can get behind, and let's see, and go, let's go. Get him up for the camera. There's Toonie hanging out, got the t-shirt. Very nice. Very nice.
And Toonie wants to say hello.
Well, then we got to make room for Toonie to say hello. Absolutely. All right. Now here we go back to another. This is you and your pals again?
Oh, yes. It was from last week's ladies' retreat at the Carlisle Inn. So beers over to friends, but I roomed with that night. So that's Morgan Cool on the left, Sierra McGeorge, and my friend Destiny Ream. And we got to stay at this pretty cool room in. So we got a picture together with this year's theme was Magnify, which we really loved the theme. And therefore, we got a great group photo of us together.
Excellent. 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 And I remember we spoke when you were visiting with us last time. We spoke about your retreat also. So it's great that that's something you get to do across time. And now here you are, dare I say, hamming it up or having the time of your life or a moment of levity in that day. So this looks like a blow up suit minion that you're with. You got your chicken thrower hoodie. Where is this?
Well, we had the absolute honor of getting this picture taken at the good old Worcester Walmart in Worcester, Ohio, not the Sven-art store. So my dad was actually looking at this character and he said to me, that is a minion. And he asked me if I wanted to take a picture of that character. And I said, like, sure. So I went to the good old electronics department and we got to take pictures with the minion. And I'm not going to say who the minion was in the costume, but it was literally the coolest encounter I've ever had at a good old Walmart store in Worcester.
Well, hey, if we can't have fun at Walmart in Worcester, then I don't know what it's all about. But that is so cool that you got to have that and hang out with somebody in the inflatable outfit. I don't know if we're here. Okay. Is this a different friend from the previous shots, or is this one of the same people again?
That is my friend Noelle. So
Okay.
she is older than Josette and Serenity. So we have became great friends since we first met. So we went to the same Winter Lights event that month and we get to take pictures together. So it was pretty fun.
You definitely look like you're both having a sincere good time together. Now talk about mashups and compilations of things. We know that, Jaws was influenced by the creature of the Black Lagoon. We know that, Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to be made. We know that Jaws was the first movie to widely acknowledged as the first great summer blockbuster, let alone a horror picture. But now we've got a rubber chicken in the spot of Jaws, and Sven in the spot of a barefooted victim. How did this one come to you? Like this one is a lot of fun. This one makes me laugh.
Oh, yes. So again, I was looking at like Jaws movie posters on the internet, and I actually want to think about to make like a little bit of a mashup of that. So again, when I'm talking about Jaws, my uncle, let's see, the one who was like in the Twilight Zone who played that character. He was not in the movie Jaws, but he actually was the same like Jaws in other James Bond films. So I really am related to that uncle. So I'll talk about more a little bit later. So again, we have the little rubber chicken who's like showing off his teeth, and we have a great good old Sven and Griddle barefoot and swimming to get out of this water, and therefore it's not real. We have the good old chickens, the dawn of the underwater Kerwin.
Man, the creativity. I'm sitting back and appreciating it. This is again some fun material here. Now, if I'm right here, we got Durwood over the one side, then we got Sven, then we got Kerwin. Tell us, what was your inspiration for this shot?
Well, I actually did this last year before we actually shared my 45th anniversary for my New Year's. So I thought I might make a very special 45th anniversary art on a canvas. And here's good old jokes like Darwin actually said, "Your dad should be really proud of the host you have came to be." And then Sven said, "That's right. I am old. And I look good after all these years." Darwin actually on the right says, "Sheesh, I can finally say this after 45 years." Rolled.
And that cake there also seems to have a face on it. That's not a cake to mess around with. You didn't get lazy there on the cake part. You kept some fun creativity, including out of the cake. Now, Earth Day. We were saying before we went live, you acknowledged a great many calendar dates here, including Earth Day. How do we get the idea to depict Earth Day through Sven giving a hug to the planet Earth?
Again, Google, and I want to thank Google for inspiring me to do all the artwork. So I looked for these Earth Day photos of people hugging the good old Earth, and I thought, why not give Sven a chance to hug the Earth itself? So again, did it on Adobe Fresco, have him hug the Earth, and therefore he is hugging the Earth, and thus, happy early Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day, and let me say happy Saturday to the Mandarin. Mandarin, again, it's always good to have you around. If you're just coming around in the last couple of minutes, Mandarin, Makayla Stormgoolie is our guest. She's a premier artist in the Svenverse, so we're featuring her Svengoolie art. Mandarin, always good to have you around. And Mandarin, if you are going to be around for C2E2, man, I would still look forward to that possibility of hanging out with the Mandarin in person in some kind of a way. Here we are back at Walmart again, you and the Minion. Clearly the Minion was willing to play along. You had more than just one shot to take with the Minion. Now, Willard, this walk us through, what does it say here, and who do we see here?
I tried to do my own version of the Willard. So again, I looked for that movie poster and tried to trace some of the important parts of it. And again, I tried to make my own version of the poster, but I get to see. So again, it's the same as the poster, but my own version.
I like how, as you've depicted it, the eyes are cast like up and away, like we're not looking. The figure represented is not looking at the camera. It has, it could be interpreted in some ways, but I like that feature. Oh, there's a repeat of the birthday shot. Here's a classic from 1931. Makayla, walk us through. What did you use for inspiration on this?
Again, I searched the Frankenstein image on the internet, and again, it was on the internet. It's true. And again, I just create my own Frankenstein work and copied it, traced it, and I used pencils to make a good old Frankenstein artwork.
And clearly, I'm guessing you don't have a great many dealings with our commenter and viewer, the Mandarin, but Mandarin is giving you the respect to calling it as dope art. And now, see, Mandarin would have the advantage because we don't know what Mandarin looks like because Mandarin is a person of mystery, is a man of mystery. So that I look forward to the possibility of all that coming together. Another minion shot here and showing off the Svengoolie image on the back there. Now, again,
And
oh, go ahead.
this episode sponsored by the good old folks at the Worcester Walmart, located next between to the good old Worcester Walmart, like where McDonald's and everything is at. So visit Worcester for all your great Walmart needs.
That's right there in the territory of Sven-arts. That's great. And under the commercial ways of things, this you've got the classic McDonald's eye stylings captured here. We got our cover date of December 11 from last year. What?
Oh, I just learned about that last year on the good old internet. So I want to make my own Sven nugget. So therefore, I looked it up, tried to make my own version of the Sven nugget, and therefore, we have a Sven nugget you see on your screen.
Now, in the territory then of Sven mashup with food things, there were moments in my life where a certain vehicle would be not following me, but it would just be the car behind me, or it would be a car that was parked somewhere. And so one of those famous things is the Wienermobile. And now here you've done a variety of variation. You've got the rubber chicken. Tell us.
Oh, yes. Again, I was inspired on the internet for this. So I tried to make my own version of a good old Wienermobile. And I'm not the best singer, so if you don't know the words, sing along with me, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Oh, I love to be a Svengoolie rubber chicken. That is what I truly like to be. Because if I were a Svengoolie rubber chicken, everyone would be in love with me.
Oh, Makayla, that is some Sven level jokes. That's right there with Sven's comedy setup there. That's real good. All right, now this one again. You're back to your winter wonderland, if you will. Here you're taking product placement from Pepsi. Pepsi sponsoring the art studio of Makayla Stormgoolie here. Again, looks like you're having fun with. Okay, now here we go. As I had experience with the Munsters early on in my life, about the same time I was first learning of Svengoolie. So to me, that makes perfect sense to put together Svengoolie and Munsters. Now you got some red and some green. Did you just choose red for the male characters and green for the female characters?
Oh, yes. So I was inspired by this from another Svengoolie Facebook group. So I just try to trace my own characters that I get to use. And I actually posted on Facebook recently, and the person who actually played Svengoolie actually liked my artwork. So I was actually shocked.
Not bad. Not bad. That's kind of high praise, I'll say. All right. As you've given us again such a wealth of things. Now, one of the ongoing bits is which actors that show up from the movie that's being played were also in other things, and very frequently, very common for those actors to have been on the Perry Mason TV show. So that leads us to it's November 22 in 2023. You're at your drawing board and you have the Perry Mason idea in your head for a mashup. Tell us, how did you go from there?
Well, first off, I just have to say that I've seen a few episodes of Perry Mason recently, so I know who he is. So I thought I want to make my own mashup of that character. So again, I just looked up Perry Mason on the internet, tried to make my own version of Sven and Perry together, used the materials, and just make my own character of Svenny Mason. And therefore, we all need a great lawyer in Berwyn. So therefore, we need Svenny Mason to be the best lawyer in the city of Berwyn.
You even got a backstory there. I love it, and he's got quite such a serious countenance to him. He looks like he's not there. He's not throwing rubber chickens right there. He's doing official, serious business. Okay, coming around over here. This was one of the recent films that came on.
Yes, again, thank you, Internet. So I just traced the Google poster artwork, and I just used my own vision to make my artwork. So focusing and concentration of the art itself really helps you make the artwork you're seeing right now tonight.
Great. And now again, as we've had some color and some black and white interpretations. Here we go. So you had shown the black cat, and now of that same general era, here you have a raven. Tell us about your process in putting together this raven.
Well, again, so I actually learned how to do this from a little art tutorial on on the internet. So therefore, I learned the tutorial, did my own version of the raven, and therefore I really liked how it came out with it. So I might find some great art tutorials for me to do to inspire me.
Stretching your skill set, it's a wonderful thing. And jumping back to Jim Campbell, if any of us are ever to see the Chicken Mobile, be it the streets of Berwyn or any other streets, oh boy, that get the cameras out, get the pictures out. That'd be so nuts to actually see a chicken Wienermobile. I've got some repeats here. Sometimes when I put the pictures in, I duplicate them accidentally, but this one I think is a unseen one as yet tonight. All right. So a little while ago, I said, how did we decide to show a younger nostalgia Ferratu? This this is just all kinds of funny to me. Walk us through now for the characters. Walk us through how did they get to where they are?
Okay, so again, I was actually inspired by this. So that's not like the Sven baby, but you've seen the New Year's artwork I was shown a few months ago. So I thought, why not do this again with Nasty? So again, I got to draw that artwork in baby form, and therefore we're in color coordinated mats, and it's been holding like a little baby rubber chicken toy. So we have a good old baby Nasty and baby Sven together. So they're friends since birth, and they're also hosting horror movies since birth.
This one's just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that you did it, and again, juggling what we have up currently as well as the comments here. That's part of the fun is having people comment about what we're looking at and going back. If the Chicken Wienermobile was in the Fast and Furious franchise, that would be out of hand and out of order. And it's great to have Mandarin and Jim Campbell in agreement with each other, palling around in the comments section. Coming back to our next picture, and we're almost finished with the pictures. So then we'll have a little bit of talk of what else is Makayla looking forward to or collecting or other Sven related material. But now here you are with like a Nutcracker Sven kind of a t-shirt and that very rubber chicken. So tell us what do we see, Makayla?
Well, actually, the rubber chicken necklace that I'm wearing right now, I actually got this necklace from Amazon. So last time I was on, I didn't have any of the rubber chicken necklace on. But thanks to the good old Amazon store, not the Sven store, so I got this necklace, all thanks to a great Amazon gift card that I just won from a survey that I did for Adobe Fresco. So if you have to say, if you want great stuff to win great prizes, please complete the surveys. They have great opinions, so please do the surveys to help them out, make them improve it.
Excellent. Excellent. And then just Mandarin was asking for a little clarification from, was that a baby Sven and a baby Nosferatu, just to keep Mandarin clear?
It is.
Okay, good and good. And now we're okay. So there was that one. We got this here. All right, there. Looks like you're out somewhere again by the back. Is that the same evening that we've been looking at?
It is.
Okay. So it's good that you probably were you. I can't tell if you're inside or outside, but if you were inside, I hope you were able to get warm for a minute. And if you were outside, then I hope you're able to go find somewhere warm
Yeah,
for.
it was at the carousel that the zoo had, so it gives them an opportunity to go on the merry-go-round, and the rides are free.
It's a free rides and a fun night. Okay, now we have the Imp again, and this one's a fresh again, just of 2 months old. So from the again, we've gone from color to black and white and gray again. Imp is definitely part of the new cast. Before we went live, we were saying I was asking, and you were saying you like all the new characters of Nostalgia Ferratu and Svengoolie and the Imp. He's got an impish look on his face here, I have to say. And
Again,
go
I
ahead.
just searched it on the internet, and I just looked it at, and I just traced it on there, and really helps me to focus on the picture and doing your artwork on there.
I'm suspicious of this Imp, the way he's wringing his hands. I think he's up to mischief. And I think prankster isn't his name. So, the question I was going to come to as we were coming to the end of the picture. So you did somewhat recently, land a copy of the comic book, and that's the classic cover of it right there. So now
Yeah, got it from Amazon with the gift card that I won from during the surveys.
It pays to do the surveys. So Makayla, what were the highlights of the comic for you?
Oh my gosh. Let me just say the whole comic so far was amazing. And I just really like all the jokes and everything. I just love the different art styles that they have on there. And oh my gosh, I am looking forward to the next one coming up pretty soon. I've been keeping my eyes peeled for the date.
Yes, and I don't think they have a release date yet, or not one that they've let us know about, but they are in, I suppose, pre-production would be a fair way to say it. They're in the early planning stages of the comic. And let me take this moment to say, on the Aw Yeah Comics YouTube channel, Art Baltazar will very often do a live show, and I've come across Makayla viewing at the same time I'm viewing over there. So that's been a fun other way to say, hey, Makayla, hi, Makayla. How are you today, Makayla? Oh, that's a repeat. And this one is not a repeat. But this is speaking of the full cast and crew there, and a little bit of creativity of what's behind the wall, what's on the other side. Are they about to meet their doom, or are they about to enter a party?
Oh, and they were actually had all the different monsters. They were guarding the door from all the monsters. And Kerwin.
Well, yeah. So Kerwin is on the side of the monsters there, and they're guarding themselves in the dungeon from the other side of the door. But totally perfect. All right. So we covered your newer art pieces here over the last few months. We covered the comic is now in your possession, and you've had the rubber chickens. So we've got them. We're pretty much caught up on things, but now to forecast to the future, Makayla, what are you looking forward to in the up and coming days and weeks and months as a Svengoolie fan?
Well, first of all, I am really hoping in the future to get my bucket list thing off the bucket list to come true is to actually meet him in person at an event, or just meet every single Sven-art that I met on social media in person. So hopefully I get to meet you guys soon. And that's the first thing I'm really looking forward to if I get this wish granted.
Well, I will share that wish, and I will look forward to, in the near future or in the somewhat distant future, to that coming together. That would be great, as is the case that at your events of your flashback weekend or your C2E2 weekend, it definitely enriches the event and makes it for a good time to be able to hang out with an Annette and with a Sarah Gooley, and obviously, of course, with a Dave Fuentes, with the Terror Dave, and of course Warner also. So it makes the convention all the more of an enriched experience to have a set of Sven pals there. So I will cross my fingers that someday, some way, that will come together.
Yes, I'm really am looking forward just in a few weeks. If you really missed the first time I was here, I just want to remind it again. I'm going to be on Person Place Your Thing again as a super fan on April 29th. Check local listings. I'm going to be showing another Sven-art, which was featured on the first episode I was here. So hopefully I might win the money. So tune in on April 29th to find out.
And Makayla, feel free to, after we're done recording here, feel free to come back and put that in the comments so we can encourage people to track that and be able to watch that come April 29th of 2024. And if somehow somebody's watching after that date, then let me tell you, it had to be the best time. No question. It was a good view to be there on April 29th.
Under count in the future. And I believe that the Game Show Network is airing that show. So hope they're going to be rerunning that episode later on in the summer or so.
All right, Makayla, like last time, this has been a lot of fun. And again, as we're studying Sven, the study of Svengoolie and related materials, which we call around here Svenology. It's been great to have you be a co-Svenologist again tonight. It's good that you came around. Do you have any last comments or parting comments before we close out the show for tonight?
Well, again, follow me on my social media accounts. So if you want to see new artwork, it's on there. So again, I will post the links in the comments after the show tonight. So hopefully I might gain more new followers.
As we acknowledge Chris Hamby hitting 97,000 viewers, let's also watch the ongoing climb of Makayla Stormgoolie having new followers around. And thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to close this out for now. Do tune in to Svengoolie if you're watching live. Do tune in to Sven tonight. And if you're watching in a recorded format, then hey, Sven's around to check out every Saturday on the Me TV. So thanks everybody. Happy after birthday season for Sven, and we'll be back again sometime soon. Thanks.